Okay, hi. It's basically nighttime right now, and I'm getting ready to go out with my friends, and I'm running a little bit late, so I'm gonna do a little get ready with me life update. Super chatty while everyone's in the hot tub and showering up. Not gonna talk about any of the makeup that I'm using, but I am going to list everything in the description box below. I'm trying to use up this Coolfy concealer on my face right now because it's like a little too dark and a little too yellow for me, and I'm so close to using it up. But everything else will be listed in the description box. Sorry if the lighting's whack right now. It's straight up nighttime and I am just not experienced enough to know how to make that look good. But anyways, my friends are visiting right now from New York and they're here I think for 6 days total. And then tomorrow for New Year's Eve, we're going to the Bay Area. We're gonna see Cascade and John Summit, which will be really fun. Seeing Cascade with our friends is kind of a tradition for us. We've seen them together like, I don't know, 3-4 times, usually on New Year's, so it's always a really good time. Editor's note, it was a good time. And as hard as it is for me to try to stay up late and like party with the kids, I just, I have my limits. I'll stay out till like 1, which is pretty good for me. I stayed out until 4. And then this old grandma's gonna drag herself in bed. But tonight we're gonna go out for dinner in Garberville, which is where we live. And I figured I would just chat you through some updates. So the first crazy thing that happened is we were in a 6.4 magnitude earthquake, which woke us up in the middle of the night at 2:30 in the morning. It was horrifying. And the craziest thing after the earthquake is that I have had like earthquake PTSD. I cannot stop having dreams and nightmares about another earthquake happening and being woken up in my sleep again, or just random dreams like with people that I don't talk to anymore, with really old, family friends that I don't hear from anymore, them being in my dreams and like going through an earthquake together. It's been such a bizarre thing and it's totally nonstop. And it's frustrating because you can't control your dreams. So I'm constantly waking up in the middle of the night just thinking like I'm in an earthquake. Every little wind or noise or creak in the house or anything that kind of shakes the house a little bit makes me feel like we're having another earthquake again. So I definitely have a little bit of earthquake PTSD. And I know what PTSD feels like because I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2017. So I'm pretty familiar with like the things that you kind of obsess over a little bit, the patterns that come out in PTSD. Obviously, like I'm fine, we're totally fine, but it was pretty gnarly. And what's interesting is John lived through the Loma Prieta earthquake in the Bay Area. I think that was in like 94, I want to say. And he said that this one felt so much more violent. And I talked to a lot of people who live in Humboldt County and they all said the same thing, even though I think Loma Prieta was about a 6.9 earthquake and this was a 6.4. Everybody said that this one felt worse. And I would say that I was in shock for about like 24 to 48 hours afterwards. I couldn't think about anything else. I couldn't focus on work. I couldn't do anything. I was just kind of in this state of shock. I see you, Thumper. What are you doing? What are you doing out there? You better not be trying to escape, you little rascal. Thumper's escaped 6 times in the past month. Oh no. Slight tangent, sorry, but Thumper has escaped from our property 6 times in a month. We have like a huge fence, and some areas of the fence aren't super secure. Some of them are on like very, very soft, wet ground, and so it's hard to fix the fence into the ground. And so he or some other animals found a way to dig under it and just push their bodies through it. And so we think we finally secured it. We think we finally figured out every vulnerable section of the fence, but oh my God, it has been terrifying because we live up in the country in Northern California. We live where, everybody has guns here, and someone could mistake him as a wild dog. They could shoot him because they're scared of him. He could get hit by a car. We live right by the freeway. So it's all been a little bit stressful with Thumper breaking out, and we'll just find him like by our front gate, which is super crazy. And the other day he was gone for an hour and 40 minutes, which is terrifying if you're a dog parent to know that your dog was gone for an hour and 40 minutes. Like, where are you going, bro? What are you doing? So we have just been super stressed, taking shifts every day, trying to make sure that we're constantly checking on him so that he's not getting out from under our noses. It seems to happen when both of us are in work meetings at the same time and no one's outside. He seems to be the most like mischievous first thing in the morning, and if John's not outside working out in his garage gym, that's when Thumper likes to get out. So now we're taking shifts since Thumper is an outdoor dog, and he will have panic attacks if we try to bring him inside. It's been a whole thing. But anyways, he did great during the earthquake, which was awesome. He was born in Afghanistan and he was used to growing up around bombs, so maybe things like earthquake, fireworks, you know, things like that don't really bother him, but it bothered us, that's for sure. It was 2:30 in the morning and we were just sleeping, as one does. I woke up to John's entire body covering mine, like making a full cocoon over me, like boxing me in, and the house was going like this, and it was so loud. And as I started coming to and realizing what was going on, I realized that John had thrown his body on me to protect me from anything that would fall down. I don't think I started crying then because I was in shock and I was just trying to process what was going on. Apparently, I like completely slept through the first part of it, which is crazy because I'm the lightest sleeper ever, and it's not like I took an Ambien or anything, so it was pretty shocking. Apparently what happened is the earthquake alarms on our phones started going off, and I didn't even hear the alarms at all. Sometimes they're helpful, you know, in some earthquakes we've had, I think in LA, like very tiny ones, they can give you a couple seconds of a heads up, so you're able to kind of like duck and cover and take shelter under something, but not in this case. The alarms apparently went off as soon as the earthquake started happening, and it's pretty scary. I'll put a picture here. It just says like, hold on, like earthquake alert, good luck, hope for the best. But I get that it's helpful. You know, sometimes they're able to give you like a couple seconds head notice, and I'm sure that can be, you know, life-saving in a lot of situations. But in all seriousness, it was definitely one of the scariest moments of my life. And I think what's so weird about it is it was probably only 30 seconds long, 30, 40 seconds, something around there. And it felt like a fucking eternity. And I had a real awakening during the earthquake. I had a total revelation while John was covering me and making a shield out of his body. I was like, this is the man for me. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I've been with this guy for 7.5 years, and I've been so afraid of commitment and so afraid of marriage because of my own, you know, traumas and family stuff and issues that I haven't been willing to take the next step. And it made me feel so silly because what John did for me in that moment was the most selfless expression of love I've ever experienced in my entire life. And in that moment, while he was like caging me in with his body and sacrificing himself for my protection, I was like overwhelmed with this feeling of love for him. And you know, we've been through a lot. There were also a lot of changes that he needed to make before I would be willing to accept any engagement or commit to him. And he's agreed to do a whole video about couples therapy with me on my new channel, on my personal channel called Kate Gardner. So I'll either link that on the screen above or put it in the description box below. I've already filmed 2 videos for that channel. The first is about not being ready to have kids. And the second video is about freezing our embryos together because we're not ready to have kids. So the second channel is going to be a lot of like deeper, more thoughtful life topics like that, and more of like a raw vlog style. And I think it's going to be really exciting to share everything that I've learned in therapy. You know, it's such a gratifying thing when you can share something that's changed your life with other people. It's not going to be the kind of channel for everyone, and I certainly don't expect it to ever be a kind of business or anything like that. I really just want it to be a place where I can put my passions for like growth and self-improvement, because that's pretty much my biggest passion in life now. You know, it used to be beauty. Beauty used to be the thing in 2019, and all the years before that, all I could ever think about was beauty and shopping for makeup online and going to Sephora and Ulta and all of that, and watching beauty YouTubers and reading all of the blogs. And it was such a wonderful, fun, new, interesting time. You know, I would watch all the like Brit Crew videos like Zoella and people like that, Tanya Burr. But now my passions have changed and I'm just really into self-improvement. I'm really into therapy and reading a bunch of different books about health, treating my EDS. I'm currently reading Keep Sharp by Sanjay Gupta, all about brain health. I watch a lot of Andrew Huberman videos, a lot of Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and I'm excited to kind of share any anything that I learn or anything that really helps my life over on that channel. But it's not gonna be like from an advice perspective. I would never say, do this or follow what I'm doing. I would just say, hey, this is what I've learned. These are some cool things that have helped my life. If you're interested, you can watch. But I think something that's important to me on both of my channels is to never be an expert, because I'm not. So I never want to come from a place of ever giving advice. Like, I usually don't give any makeup tips because God knows I need makeup tips myself, you know? But it is fun to kind of share what you've learned, especially when it comes to any growth that you've had mentally or emotionally, because when you have like emotional breakthroughs, you just want to scream them from the mountaintops. And so when we went through that earthquake, I just felt such a rush of love for John, and it was so exciting and so sad and so powerful and overwhelming and scary, that while it was all of those things, I was also grateful that I went through that experience with him. And you know, it brought us so much closer together. Like the 48 hours after the earthquake, we were attached at the hip. We were like constantly holding hands, hugging each other, touching each other, holding on to each other, kissing each other. We just, it really really gave us a wake up call that life could be taken from us in a second. And yeah, I think it was like a real slap in the face that I needed of, you know, wake up, look at what's in front of you, look at how lucky you are. You know, look at this amazing man who is so wonderful and supportive of you. Ooh, getting emotional. Oh. Anyways, yeah, I get emotional when I'm talking about it because it was like really, really powerful. So now our next step is we're freezing our embryos together, which is really exciting and also really nerve-wracking. By the way, this is a new product to my channel, the LH Cosmetics Shaping Light Multi-Use Highlighter in Cool Glow. It's so beautiful. It's just a liquid highlighter with a little squeezy tube, and it has quickly become one of my favorite highlighters. It's like a better version of the RMS Living Luminizer because it's so much more multifunctional and it sets down. It doesn't have coconut oil, so it's, you know, not quite as comedogenic for some people. And because it's such a liquid formula with a squeezy tube, you can just mix it with things. You can put it all over your body. It's just so easy to use. And I love that it doesn't have a tacky finish or a sticky, balmy finish. It just sets down and it looks like skin. Probably in this harsh nighttime lighting, you're not gonna see how beautiful it is, but I either have already posted or I'm about to post my 2022 makeup favorites, starting with the base products, and this will be one of the highlighters you'll be able to see in some different lighting. So just wanted to call that out because it is a new product on my channel and I'm just so impressed with it. But anyways, going into the embryo freezing, really, really exciting. So I'm vlogging the whole experience for my second channel. And for the past few days, I have been doing my ovulation kits. So you just buy Clear Blue Digital online kits, not online kits, you buy them online and you pee on a stick. And then yesterday I got a positive ovulation test. It was a little smiley face on the Clear Blue Digital stick. And what that meant was I come in for my baseline ultrasound and blood work 5 days after I get the result that I'm ovulating. So I'm going in for my baseline ultrasound and blood work on January 4th. And that's basically when they do the ultrasound, they do your blood work to kind of get a baseline of what your hormones and everything looks like. I believe your follicle count and a few other things, what it looks like without any interference. And then that same night is when you start your IVF medication. Luckily, John has a lot of experience since he was a medic in the Army Special Forces. He has tons of experience mixing medication and giving injections. So luckily I get to be a bit of a baby and he's gonna handle the whole thing for me, so I don't even have to pay attention. I'm just gonna look away and he's gonna do the injections in my stomach. And I've heard a lot of different things from people. Some people have told me it was completely fine. You know, some people said, don't even worry about it, it's not a big deal. You know, the injections just make you a little emotional, they make you a little bloated, but it's fine. Thumper, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you barking at? Anyways. Other people have told me the hormones made them incredibly emotional. It was horrible. They were in tons of pain. Other people said the hormones were fine, but the egg retrieval process was horrible. So it seems like everybody has a completely different experience, and knowing my luck with physical things, mine will probably be pretty horrible. Editor's note, it was pretty fucking horrible. It's going great. I'm already in a state of pain. I have chronic illness. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So it's just a little bit nerve-wracking for me to like consciously agree to put myself through this. But I've heard doctors say that it's difficult to get pregnant and it's difficult to go through pregnancy with EDS. So I'm just really happy that we're gonna have some reserves, you know, to understand that if there ever are challenges with us trying to naturally conceive in the future, we do have options, because they say the younger your eggs or embryos are, the better, the healthier they're gonna be. So there's no better time than now. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can follow my second channel, my personal channel, and I'll be vlogging the whole thing. But yeah, I'm nervous. I'm excited to get it over with. And I'm just really, really praying that everything goes smoothly. And you know what? I'm gonna use another new product. So I'm wearing ColourPop's A Little Quirky as eyeshadow on my lids. And I'm gonna top it with a little bit of the Moira Glitter eyeshadow in Eye Contact, which is crazy, crazy glittery, just to like amp up that glitter factor. Just a little bit here. Wow. So glittery. I feel like this is basically just the, what is it? The Stila Glitter and Glows, but just for a couple bucks. So if you've always wanted to try the Stilas, just get the Moiras. You know, now that I'm looking at myself in the monitor, I really like this Vive Cosmetics concealer, but I think it's a little bit too light for me, unfortunately. At least when I'm wearing bronzer, then you can really see a stark difference. I wonder if I can correct that by putting a little bit of bronzer under my eyes. I'm gonna take more of that and do like, no, I don't think that's helping. Anyways, another new product to my channel is the Vive Cosmetics Lip Liner in Brat. And I don't know if I'll post the review first or if I'll post this video first, but that brand review is coming soon. Holy hell, I love Vive Cosmetics. I've been like hooked on the products, and I haven't been this excited about a brand in a really long time. I just feel like their stuff is very timeless, very classic, very luxurious, well thought out shades, like big juicy shade ranges. So that's Brat. And I'm gonna finish it with Millennial from Merit. My friend Lauren sent this to me because she didn't want it, and I am kicking myself for waiting this long to get it. It's the perfect warm pink. It's so pretty. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see on the back of my hand right now just because it's so dark right now. Yeah, you can tell. It's a nice warm pink, not too light. There you have it. That's my going out look for tonight. Always appreciate you sitting through these and being interested in my life and what's going on. So wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, and I appreciate you. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.